Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the EFRA podcast series. I'm Urania Dinu from Reino, the partner responsible for EFRA's outreach and impact. EFRA is an EU-funded research project that aims to transform food safety, shifting from reaction to prevention. Using cutting-edge data analytics and AI, EFRA gathers and processes various data from different sources, aiming to predict potential risks before they happen, enabling faster and smarter responses across the food supply chain. In today's episode, we are honored to welcome Salvatore Trani from CNR, and we will have a very insightful discussion on one of the key EFRA results, the Analytics Powerhouse. Hello, Salvatore.
Hello everyone, and thank you, Urania, for this opportunity.
Thank you for being with us today. So to start, can you tell us a bit more about your organization and your role in EFRA?
Yeah, so CNR is the National Council of Italy, is the largest public research organization in the country. Its activities range from digital technologies to life science and engineering, with over 100 research institutes and several thousand researchers across the country. It plays a central role in supporting innovation, scientific progress, and technology transfer. Within the scope of the EFRA project, we bring expertise in sustainable computing and artificial intelligence. In particular, our focus is on developing AI models that are not only powerful and accurate, but also energy efficient and trustworthy. And we aim to ensure that these models can be deployed in real-world settings, including distributed systems with limited hardware, such as edge devices.
You mentioned that you are developing AI models. So I want you to explain what AI for food risk prediction means in everyday terms.
So, in simple terms, it's like exploiting smart algorithms for detecting early signs that something may go wrong with the food supply chain, like food contamination, spoilage, or regulatory breaches. This would allow food companies and public authorities to act before the problem escalates to consumers. So, to put it simple, it's like having a weather forecast, but for food safety.
Okay, now that we understand a bit about what a food prediction is, could you walk us through the process of designing an AI model for food risk prevention?
Sure. So at first we collect a wide range of data, from scientific literature to official reports and alerts. Then we aggregate this data, we clean this data in such a way that we can then learn an AI model able to recognize patterns related to food risks. We then evaluate the performance of this model. We continuously improve the model until we finally deploy this model onto the platform in such a way that it can be exploited by food companies or public authorities.
Now let's talk about our core topic of today's podcast, the Analytics Powerhouse, which is one of the three modules of the EFRA platform. Can you explain what is this in simple terms?
Yes, so think of it as the brain of the EFRA platform. The Analytics Powerhouse runs the AI model in order to predict food risk over a dynamically managed green high-performance computing research infrastructure. It pulls together different types of information and transforms into actionable insights, alert, or forecast that can be exploited by users.
Mm-hmm. Now I want to go to a topic that you also mentioned before, the energy efficiency in AI models. We know that usually AI models consume high amounts of energy, and you say that you're developing AI models that are energy efficient. How do you do this?
That's true. AI is very energy hungry, and in order to bypass this problem, we were developing novel technologies aimed at shrinking the AI model in both in size and complexity, but without sacrificing its accuracy. This way, our model can be deployed even on smaller devices by being environmentally friendly.
Mm-hmm. It's really interesting to hear that you're addressing efficiency. Now let's go to the practical level. Of Analytics Powerhouse, can you give us an example of how someone can use the Analytics Powerhouse when, for example, we have a real food company or a public authority as a user?
So, just imagine, for example, a food company that is willing to monitor risk related to a specific ingredient they are using. The Analytic Powerhouse can scan global sources of data in order to highlight potential risks related to this ingredient, for example, a new contamination case or a regulatory change. This way, the food company can promptly act before the problem escalates to the consumer by adjusting its supply chain or by informing the quality control team.
Okay, we can see that we have clear benefits for the food companies. Now, how do you make sure that the predictive models of Analytics Powerhouse are not just powerful and energy efficient, as we said, but also trusted and easy to use by food industry?
You are right, trust is the key. So we are not only focused on efficiency and the accuracy of the AI model, but also on the explainability. Why we reach this target by making the model not only producing a prediction, but also explaining why this prediction has been provided by the system. And that transparency, we think, will help the users to trust about the prediction. In parallel, we test our AI models in real-world settings with feedback coming from the stakeholder in order to ensure that our solution is useful and reliable.
So what excites you most about the AI technologies that you're developing in EFRA, and how do you hope that these technologies can actually make a difference in the food industry?
So what excites me most is the potential to bring advanced AI technologies to the real world, and in specific of the EFRA project to make the food sector faster and more reliable. It's not just about pushing the boundaries of technologies, but about making something practical and useful. And I believe EFRA can contribute to the food sector by allowing this food sector to become more proactive, sustainable, and reliable, trustworthy.
Thank you, Salvatore, for sharing all these EFRA insights about how it is not just advancing AI, but also how it aims to bring a real impact to the European food sector.
Thank you, Rania.
Also, thank you all for being with us today in another episode of the EFRA podcast series. Stay tuned with us for the next episodes that we will deep dive into the other components of the EFRA platform, but also into more aspects of the project. Don't forget to follow us on social media and visit our website for more AI and food safety insights. Let's make our food safer together. Stay tuned.